Okay, hello everyone. My name is Eko Dessrajd Suhani and I am from the State Islamic University Sultan Taha Jambi, and I am from semester 2, class A, English Literature. And this video I make because this is my midterm exams and my lecturer asked me to make a video about reading one of material in the book called Mosaic, a reading skills book, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, I'm just gonna make that fast because I really don't have much time. And after this video done, I'm gonna editing this, and after this, I'm gonna go again to my. Wait a second. What is he doing on? I don't remember in the script that I need to tell about my problem. This guy. Editor, I want you to erase this. I don't want to see this. Yeah, good. Like that. I like it. Okay, so let's move to the book titled Mosaic, a reading skills book. We will go to the page 41, which is chapter 3, the family. And the material will be in the page number 58 until 16. So everyone, let's go. The making of a father. When he lived with them, he had been a visiting father, the sort who has his children brought in on a trail at cocktail hour and collected before dinner is served, the sort who prefers his children to come shiny clean, cheerful, and in small doses. He had sniffed at them as if they were corks from a new wine bottle. At the smallest sign of crankiness or illness, they had been promptly sent back to the kitchen, and to the mother who had been held more or less responsible for such a lapse in the quality of the wine cellar. It's true, he'd always wanted them perfect, 98.6 degrees, and in full repair. But things were different now. He was no longer a live-in visiting father. He had signed on the dotted line of the very formal agreement, full of clauses and sub-clauses, one of which read, the father should have reasonable visitation rights. But now that he was officially, legally, the visiting or visited father, something remarkable happened. He had made his first full connection with the smallest people in his life. In a peculiar way, he knew this was his first Father's Day. In the last 10 months, he had become a father, not just a name on a birth certificate. He discovered that this transition wasn't unique with him, but he wasn't entirely sure why it happened to so many divorced fathers. When first apart, he thought he would be a swinging bachelor with a high-rise studio apartment and a mirror over his bed, but somehow he'd felt rather silly. So instead at 35 years of age, he chose paternity 10 years earlier. He had been more or less drafted. This time he really chose it. Out of loneliness and guilt at first, and out of pleasure at last, the visited father finally established a rapport with his children. He spent more time with them in 10 months than he had in 10 years. They were with him through Wednesdays, weekends, and vacations, through the flu and sunburn and car sickness and various attempts at fratricide. Along with his children, he took intensive on-the-job training. The mother who had been designated the expert by all of them wasn't around for consultation. He had to cram. Indeed, the father developed a repertory of attitude on subjects like this. Should his daughter have dessert if she refused to eat the vegetables? What was the appropriate punishment for a 10-year-old boy who spread honey all over the cat? He became the kind of a parent who knew how to braid hair and limit junk food and tuck in tired bodies and yell. He learned what his children liked to eat, what they hated to wash, and where they were like to have left the other tennis shoe. He learned that even when they'd seen each other at their worst, they liked each other. When his when with his children, he'd found them to be remarkably interesting. That was an odd word to use, but there it was, interesting. It was his son who explained to him quite clearly why there was no such a thing as nothing, because then nothing has to be something. It was his daughter who pointed out the absurdity of sign on the corner that read, "Go, children, slow." That doesn't make sense. It should read, "Go slow, children." The visiting father, who had never had time for his children, made time. Period. He met both teachers. He had seen one child play basketball and the other play hockey. Sometimes he was jealous of men who had custody of their children, of living fathers who wondered why he had waited so long. But at least he had learned when he couldn't take them for granted. He discovered that you can take them for granted. What he had with his children was what they create. They had made him at last a father. Alright, so I think this is the end of the video, right? And yeah, if there is a word that I said it in wrong way, I do really sorry because I still learn. And also, thank you to everyone in my lecture who watching this. And to my lecture, I hope my grade is so good in here. So, よろしくお願いします。それじゃあ、皆さん、どうも、さよなら。Goodbye, guys.